Hi. VOD number 4 was lost. I lost it. I'm sorry. Instead of skipping it, I'm just gonna give you guys a summary, and I have Kafeka Gaming here with me.
That's true.
This is Kafeka Gaming. You know him.
This is Kafeka Gaming. You know him.
You know him. He lives in your walls, little kitty cat
This is
everyone
true.
loves and adores. And me, streamer Casita Mono from Twitch.tv, so famous, so cool.
That's true.
So what happened? Basically, we went back to Komeji's Somnium, and we ended up, instead of looking for Shoma, we went in the other direction and followed like the people in the suits and shit, like the Yakuza, and then we found out that he was
chose to make more money.
Exactly. Yeah, choose to make more money. And we find out that the way he was making more money is he got involved with like the Yakuza and like some loan sharks and shit, and basically we got more into debt, got into a lot of danger, and I don't really remember what happens in between that well.
He began selling firearms to support himself. But it wasn't enough, and his debts kept piling up. So
but how did Shoma find out?
Shoma finds out because that happens later. So what happens after we find out about him selling firearms is we also find out that he has apparently stolen something from Terror.
Right, because that's why he was there at the facility.
He's trying to blackmail Terror by stealing that object, and we see him packing that into a suitcase, and then that's the end of the Somnium. Afterwards, we confront him about that, and in questioning, he says that he'll only talk if we make sure to protect Shoma. And so then afterwards, he tells Ryuki to follow him. He goes to his house, and Ryuki searches it, and nothing. And then Shoma and
the girlies,
the girls, they all walk in. Shoma confronts his father because he learns about all of the shit that was happening that his father was doing. After talking with Abyss, I believe, after being detained there. Mm-hmm. And then he tells Komeji that he hates him and that he wishes Komeji would die.
Yes! That great scene was so much fun to watch. Anyway, then we go to the studio with Komeji, and then we get knocked out, and then we wake up and we're tied up, and the girlies come in to help us and untie us, and then we find like a figure in like a bag, like on a little stretcher, and then we unzip it, and oh no, Komeji's fucking dead and he's been cut in half, and Shoma is like right next to us and he sees it and he's like, oh no, and he's really sad and he runs away. And then
so like Amame is like also particularly fucked up by this.
She's extremely fucked up by this. Yes.
We learned that Amame most likely, and simultaneously we learned that Amame most likely entered the room before everyone else. Mm-hmm. And also there is a scene where we chase after Shoma, and then he boards a Ferris wheel and then disappears.
Yeah, and then Ryuki has like a meltdown because he's like, oh my god, I literally saw him, and then we have the reality gets weird moment again.
Yeah.
Then I think this is actually the part in the game where Tama's like, Ryuki, get help! Go to the hospital! You're fucked up! And we go to the hospital and they're like, yeah, you have like disorder. I forgot what it was actually, technically.
You have brain problems, specifically cognitive
like dissociation,
damage.
Something like that.
His brain is like legitimately damaged from that. He has a disorder that causes him to hallucinate and to lose hours of his day to what we don't know.
Yeah,
and also he has severe short-term memory loss problems.
So yeah, like it's severe, and he's like, okay, I went to the hospital, Tama, time to continue the investigation. And he gets diagnosed and then fucking leaves.
Yeah, he gets diagnosed, told that he needs to stay for inpatient, and then he walks out.
He just walks out. Afterwards, we find out that now Kizuna is the one who is missing, and we need to track her down. And that we start going through through different locations. And the ones that we it was like 15 different locations. So we decided to leave it for next stream. But we do a couple that aren't really that like interesting. And one of them was we talked to Date and Mizuki at the shrine, and it's a very cute scene. I think that's the scene where they do the whole like physical relationship joke. Look up the scene if you haven't seen it. It's really funny.
Search up Date Ryuki physical relationship on YouTube, and you will get normal options. I promise you.
But yeah, it's again for context, it is like the other route. Like again, if you're like watching someone else let's play it to kind of fill in the gaps, I suggest looking up like a scene like that scene because it's very, very cute. But yeah, then we cut it after that, and that's it. That's the recap.
Yep.
All right.
And
cool.
then he turns himself into a pickle, and it's the funniest shit
What
I've
the fuck
ever
is
seen.
wrong with